Okay, hi guys, welcome back, and I hope you are all enjoying quarantine. I know it's been a long time. We've all tried to decide how long we could grow our hair out and during quarantine. So lately I've been building a one wheel, and I got to thinking, how can I make my XT90 connectors not spark? And then I realized people are geniuses, and they make these anti-spark connectors for the XT90 or XT90 anti-spark connectors. And I'm like, huh, cool. So I bought a pack of like 5 pairs of them off of eBay. So I got them, and I'm thinking, how are they anti-spark? I can't really find too many data sheets on them. There's probably a data sheet out there somewhere on the internet, but I can't really find them. There's not too many people describing how an XT90 anti-spark works, and that versus just a regular XT90. And I am running a 12S on my one wheel, and feel free to drop a comment below if you want to see a video on that and how I did it, and possibly some more tunings and stuff like that, and kind of how I built it. Anyway, with these here anti-spark, I got to thinking, how do they work? So I'm going to take you guys, we are going to go cut one open and see how they work.
Let's get started.
Okay, so I've got some XT90-S connectors, which are the anti-sparks, and I got some regular XT90 connectors. So I'm going to go ahead and do a resistance check on them to see if there's anything in between. I heard some kind of thing about there's a resistor and a separate contact in here or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but later we're going to cut it open and find out. So let's see. I believe the resistor is somewhere with this, something to do with this green part here, and something between these two pins on the male side. And then I'm just going to do the same resistance check between these two. Probably not going to get anything. I have no idea what might happen with this. So yeah, let's see what happens. There you go. Now I'm going to check the resistance over here between these two leads. Let's see. It looks like there's just a solid connector all the way through this side here, but it looks like it splits off. There's a little bit of like copper here, and then it continues on. So yeah, let's see what we get. Okay, so I am not getting any resistance here, so I am not sure about that resistor stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check this as normal. Nothing, because you can see clear through that connector. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see clear through this. But yeah, I'm not sure what's between here to make it anti-spark. I'm not getting any resistance on either of them. Why don't we go ahead and cut it open and see what happens? Or maybe we should try melting it. Probably won't work. Burning it may work, but then it'll also burn anything inside of here. So why don't we just chuck it up in the mill and take off a little bit of plastic on the top here, just to see what's inside. I have more connectors here, that way I can do my project, but I only really want to destroy one. I don't really want to destroy one, it's just the price of making the video. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Warning, dim loud noises. Warning, warning, dim loud noises. Warning, warning.
Safety first, guys, keep that in mind. Okay, so I have it put in here. I have three-phase running. I'm just gonna try to take off a little bit and see what happens. wafers in there. Just barely hit. You guys can see here that I've milled it away until I have almost bare there and a little bit showing there, and I'm going to go ahead and remove just a little bit more. Okay, now you guys can see, or should be able to see, that I've cut into there just enough, just a little bit further through, and you can see the other side on the negative pin. Now on the positive pin you can see that there is that split there. Now I have no idea what's in between here that makes it anti-spark, because that split normally just really wouldn't do anything if it was there. So it looks like I might be hitting something there. I'm going to possibly try alternative methods like my really hot soldering iron to try to melt these two and yank them out with pliers, see if that works. So let's get to that. So yeah, I've got my big old soldering iron here and my clip here and my other helping hands type thingy. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to heat this up and yank it out. So let's see what happens. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of solder to get a better heat flow joint. And then we'll just let that sit there for a bit until it begins to move. And the negative end is out, and there's absolutely nothing connecting them inside. Absolutely nothing. There's no wires, so I couldn't have split a solder joint or anything. That is still a very toasty piece of plastic. But why don't we take out the positive end and see what that has? Maybe the resistor is between that piece, that little piece there, and this little piece there, in kind of like in parallel. So once you connect it, I don't know. Let's see. That would make sense. Maybe it would limit the current and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but I was heating it up and it got super hot. Now there's that solder right there, still liquid. That means there was a solder joint down in there. Yeah, that solder that I put on there for better heat transfer, I don't think could have transferred all the way down there because it leaked through the plastic. So let's open it up and find out. There was some kind of solder joint right there, and I can see metal farther down in there. Sorry about all the traffic there. Why don't we check the resistance between that contact and that piece over there and see if we get anything. Okay, so I have my multimeter here, and yeah, let's see what results we get. This might make a lot of smoke. There's definitely something in there. Really does not want to melt out. I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's a little bit of metal and this weird blue stuff. Maybe it's a capacitor. I don't know. We're gonna have to see what that is. Let's continue on. Needless to say, I'm not gonna use this as a connector again. Nope, it's a resistor. I can almost read the color codes off it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's wait for the camera to focus. Focus. There we go. You can see that that's a resistor, and you can see the colors on there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check the resistance of this. let's see what it is. Wait, what? It's a 5 point. What this says is it is a 5.7 ohm resistor. I gotta melt the rest of the plastic off to read the color codes. Hopefully it's not a 5 band because those are a little more difficult to read. But yeah, let's melt the rest of the plastic off. Wait, no, I don't know if we can acetone it because that might wipe the colors off. But yeah, I think I'm just melting the colors off. But yeah, that's around a 5.7, 5.8 ohm resistor. I guess that would limit the current a little bit. That would kind of make sense. But yeah, that is what I found in these anti-spark connectors. So yeah, now you don't have to destroy your connectors like this and produce a bunch of probably semi-toxic smoke. So yeah, I would not recommend doing this too often. But yeah, that is what I found in my eBay anti-spark connectors. Okay, now I have soldered up a new connector here for my one wheel, which is what I mainly use, which is what I'm using the XT90 connectors for. I put all new connectors on it, even though these two connectors didn't really need it, because they're basically the same, but I put this on and it shouldn't spark. I didn't hear a pop, which is always good. There we go. 61% battery. Cool. So if you want to see more videos on my one wheel, feel free to drop a like and a comment. And yeah. So what this normally did is I want to see if I can replicate it with a single battery. So here, did you hear that? There's a little tiny pop. Let me put it just a little bit closer. Okay. But that is all fixed. With this connector here. Beautiful sounds, no pops, it's awesome. So yeah, they work pretty well. Okay, now at the whiteboard I'm gonna try to explain how this resistor helps an anti-spark. So if we have a battery here, let's just draw this up. So there we have the VESC. So I believe a capacitor has each capacitor has an ESR, which is equivalent series resistance. So which is fairly low. I'm just gonna say 0.1 ohms. So there. So my current battery has a full charge voltage of about 50 volts. And based on Ohm's law, we can calculate how much current is gonna go through to these capacitors, which causes that big spark. And the connectors are in here and stuff like that with the XT90s. So if we use I equals V over R, we have 50 over 0.1. Now if we want to get that over 1, we just multiply that by 10 and we get 500 over 1, which is equal to 500 amps inrush current upon contact. With that, you get that massive spark there. So adding a resistor, crazy resistor right there, but adding a resistor, now that's approximately 5.7, 5.6 ohms, we have why don't we just go 5.8 now? Why? Genius in France, guys. Okay, equals V over R. So we have our voltage, 50, over 5.8 is equal to 500 divided by 58. Now, if you do that, let me grab my calculator and do that. Is equal to 8.62. Yeah, is equal to 8.62 amps. That will create much less of a spark compared to 500 amps inrush there. So that way we don't get as much of a inrush current. But then if we have our XT90 here, there, and then that's our negative, that's our positive, and then we have the resistor right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, we have it like that, and then you plug the connector in. This makes full contact there, and then for a few seconds we have that contact there, which hits this, which will then charge up that capacitor, so the inrush isn't 50 amps, because after that charges up, after a couple milliseconds, there won't be like that inrush of current. And then charges up the capacitor through that resistor there, and then make contact there. There you have your anti-spark connector, theoretically. I am not a genius. I'm not very good at explaining stuff, but that's just a little bit of information on how the anti-spark works. And yeah, feel free to do more research into anti-spark or any other kind of cool connectors that you're interested in. Feel free to like, subscribe, and get out there and build something cool yourself. And yeah, have a good day, and don't get corona. That's gonna be the new YouTubers like exit. Stay safe and don't get corona. Okay, well, good luck, guys. That's it for today.